What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So it's been a hot minute since you guys have seen this truck, if you even remember it. This is my over 1,300 horsepower Duramax that has spent most of its time with me broken. Between grenading the turbos, replacing them with bigger turbos actually, and this last little mishap, we somehow got a ton of algae in the fuel to the point of completely wrecking the entire fuel system and forking my injectors beyond all repair. So we thought we were going to be able to repair them. We sent them back to Flux and they were absolutely ruined. So we got some new ones. Flux got us these super quick. We just went with 200 over injectors this time. Because my goals with the truck have kind of changed. Before, I was chasing like big numbers on the dyno. Now, I just want to drive it. I want to enjoy it. Maybe roll some coal on teenagers at the gas station. Like, that's all I'm really looking to do. So, we've got some 200 over injectors here. Brand new. And we'll try to keep them intact this time. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, that is what we're going to be installing, along with all new fuel lines, fixing everything to do with the fuel system, all before the Fitzgerald Performance event this weekend, and then we're going to do some burnouts. So, let's get into it.
All right, we're getting ready to install these new injectors from Flux. So far, up until this point, I've already pulled the old injectors out. We sent those off. I pulled the fuel rails, the fuel lines, the support lines, the delivery lines, the pump. We had dual fueler system on this. We went ahead and pulled that right out. And every fuel line, anything that had to do with fueling, pulled it out. And then I went ahead and installed the new XP600 from Industrial Injection. Woo! Got that installed. Got the new fuel rails and supporting systems so far. And we were just waiting on injectors. They showed up, so we're getting ready to stab those in. That's the easy part on this, because they go right through the valve cover. We don't have to pull the valve covers or nothing. No rocker boxes. It's just simple, clean, and easy.
All right, loop these bad boys up. And we're ready to go in. So, the Fitzgerald event is in Jamestown, Tennessee. And hopefully going to be a pretty good turnout. It looks like it was fun last year. This will be our first year going. But I'm just ready to do some freaking burnouts, okay? Some diesel burnouts. It's been a hot minute.
Brother.
I feel like these are so delicate. Like the tip of them, I'm scared.
Always gotta be careful with the tip.
Oh, I forgot to put the thingamabobber on that one.
You got one? You better, because you stole the others.
I stole as many as I need.
So this lube is to help the O-ring not get cut and slide in nice and easily, but also so they don't stick inside of the walls.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because anyone that's pulled these knows that sometimes they are a booger to pull out because they stick. I actually got one in the drawer. I took one of these and a bolt. You flip it over, weld it, and it make it like a crow's foot, like a lever. So it sits like this.
And that's how you had to get it off?
Yep, so you slide it back in, and then you grab a hammer or something and hit here so it pries it up.
That's terrible.
When I was working at Willie's shop, I had one that took me 45 minutes to get it out.
Oh my gosh.
It was so rusted and corroded in there. I'm lining out the injector lines right now because there is a certain way they have to go, pattern. And then I just explained to Lacey that there is a certain way that I've always done it. That's always worked for me. It's not, I'm not saying it's the only way, the proper way, or the right way. But when I put them on, I'll tighten the injector side first, which is this longer tube, and then the fuel rail side, and then I'll get them both finger tight and get them all done, and then come back with a wrench and tighten them down.
And so we're putting on the injector lines here.
Okay.
And just hoping I don't mess this up. So we're not using new fuel rails, but they are different than the ones that we had that were wrecked. They're out of Maury's Duramax, so they should treat us better. Now we're tightening them up.
So we're gonna get all the fuel lines and the injectors in, get everything tightened down, set where it needs to be. Excuse me. And then that's the main goal for tonight. And then tomorrow I'm gonna finish up the fuel lines. I've already got underneath ran. I just need to finish running the top side, hook up the feed for the CP3 and the return, and then hook up the new fuel cell in the back, put the connections up there. Then we put some fuel in it, prime the system, check for leaks, and we have to revise the tuning for the single pump.
Putting on the return lines.
Just put this little clip on.
You know, I like this tool for like everything. So we're gonna see if it works for what I'm doing. So one down now on these clips, but we have extra ones, so we're trying again. All right, so we got the injectors in, fuel lines, pretty much 90% of the fuel system, and tomorrow we're back at it.
All right, we left off last night getting all the injectors and lines hooked up. I went ahead today and hooked up the wiring, most of it, ran it. All I've left to do is hook up the supply line to the pump, the return line, finish up a couple more connections, put the piping kit back on, install the fuel cell in the back, run a couple lines, 2 more lines for that, and then finish 1 more bracket for the seat, and this thing will be ready to breathe fire and spin tires and make smoke. All right, well, got the new tune on the truck, went to fire it up, and there's no pump. Kept popping the fuses after checking a relay and everything else, and then trying to jump the pump itself. Turns out the pump has gone bad. So we're waiting on a new pump. Lacey ran into town to go grab one, and as soon as it gets back, we'll throw it back in the truck, and we should be ready to rock and roll.
All right, we got a new FASS from our friends over at Diesel Dynamics. They hooked us up. Thank God they had this in stock. This is one specifically for a Ford, but they said if we change out the regulator spring
You want to put it on the table?
for the one that's in my truck, that it should be good. If it's not one thing, it's another, you know. We're like 20 hours late again, but it's fine.
The Duramax thing.
It's, everything is like this. Oh, and Zach's alive. He's been sick for like a week in MIA. That's why you guys haven't seen him
I
in
don't
the
know
videos.
about alive, but I'm here.
We could fuel the body with some fast go-go juice.
Oh, you need that.
Fancy, brother. I am pulling the springs out of the old one to put them in the new one, so we have the proper pressures we are needing. Because we're going from that one's set up to be in a Ford, and so they require different fuel pressure, where this one has a different level of fuel pressure we needed. So it's simple as pulling this little guy out, pulling the red one out of that one, swap them over, and we're ready to rock and roll. So this is the Ford spring. You can see it's a lot thicker, it's a lot stiffer. The Duramax a lot thinner and a lot less springy or tension, I guess. So this is the guy going back in that one, proper fuel pressures. We are about to go ahead and install this pump now. You got these little spacers, got to go in between the mounting plate and the actual pump. Nice little assembly lube on that gasket.
so we don't get stick-tified to the mounting surface. Go right on.
Well, now we just go get some fuel, fill up the old fuel cell, prime the filters and all that good stuff, and this thing should run.
Fuel action. Is it MR12?
This is C100 diesel race octane jet fuel. Much appreciated. Couldn't do this without you, Zach. Get out of there! You're gonna spill all over.
Since I was holding this, and Jason couldn't catch that, I was lazy in it.
You know, strange things happen when I'm away.
Hey,
I'm so excited to do a burnout.
You doing it in the back?
the dust in there had me messed up.
No, we're doing it at the new pad at the powder coat shop. I gotta show you guys. Moment of truth. Let's see if she starts.
Hang on.
So we just put these new Corvo seats in. Even got the electric still. Ooh, she fancy. It's nice. I mean, I am regretting tearing out the perfect stock interior in this thing now that I don't want it to be a drag truck anymore. But you know, these will do.
I'm plugging this edge to see if I can read rail pressure because I don't have my scanner here. So, we'll find out here in just a minute.
It's not starting, but
So, that wasn't my bad because I forgot to hook up the rail pressure sensor. So, we should be good now.
We're gonna get a little summertime in a can. Start with it.
They got scared! When you turn the brake!
we just had to scare it with the starting fluid. We didn't actually have to use it. Feels so good that she's running again. Zach made me curb one of my wheels because I literally said, I know where I'm parking, I need you to make sure I don't curb a wheel. So just so everyone knows, when I have a curved wheel, it's because of that. Great, girl drivers, right? Yep, everyone make jokes so it can sit here and everyone can make fun of me because I'm not an idiot and I know how far my tires stick out and that it is going to curve on that. He's literally yelling at me to park and I'm not dumb because this is what happened. I don't know if I'm supposed to turn it off. I don't know what's happening right now.
It makes you feel better. I gave you $1,600 worth of seats.
Thank you. He's like, if it makes you feel better, I gave you $1,600 worth of seats, which are these, but I already had seats, so I really didn't need seats. I need a wheel that's not curved. He says, if you park it where it's on the bottom, no one will know. They're gonna know.
Fuel launch.
This sounds so good. All right, we're going on a little test drive. We're gonna drive it from my shop to Powder Coat shop to our new burnout pad and test her out. Nothing too crazy. We're just gonna make sure, you know, it turns over. We're gonna save everything for Truck Fest event, Blake's event, But yeah, let's go test her out. This is the first time I've driven this in like 2 years. She's running good. All right, we made it over here. This is our new burnout pad. It's gonna be the home of a lot of good content. Really just for us. We're not gonna have events here or anything like that, but just kind of for our Burnout Wars content, to test things like we're about to do, and just to have fun. So, we're about to do a little burnout, see if it'll chirp the tires, nothing crazy, and yeah, let's see if it'll do it. She's turning the tires over, so I'm going to save the rest of the tires for Blake's event, so stay tuned for some rowdier burnouts, and we'll see you then.